Here at Be Freaking Awesome, we believe that life is too short to be anything less than extraordinary. Join us as we explore what it means to live authentically, grow continuously, and have a blast while doing it. Let's get started. Welcome, everyone, to today's podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Amy Kinnison, here with Angela Belford. And today I am super excited. The day that you are listening to this is time travel. The day you are listening to this, Angela's third book is being birthed into the world. It is available everywhere you can get your books, I think. All the good places.
Super exciting.
All of that? Was that too much? Is that fine?
No, there's no such thing as too much.
Oh, okay, great. So, Angela, for people who are brand new to our podcast, I was going to say who are living under a rock, but that's not true. For our friends who are listening fresh, who don't know what's going on, tell us about this book first, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the journey of it.
The journey. So here,
Well, tell us about this book first. That's what I'm saying. Tell me, what is this book? And then we'll get into some of the journey of it. But I want to know, the ending first. Give me the ending of the story. Where are we at today?
The book is called The Invisible Edge. And subtitle, always got to have a good subtitle. What fuels your success might be what limits it. And here's what I love about the title is that it wasn't really me that picked it. I got back from Europe. I was pretty sure the working title was not going to work. The working title was Why Positive Thinking is Not Enough. Conceptually, that is what the book is. Kind of beat you over the head a little bit. But what's cool is that right after I got back from Europe in February, I got 2 different recommendations, reviews, if you will, both unsolicited, from clients who said there was something that was holding me back. There was an invisible barrier, something I didn't even realize that was holding me back. And working with Angela, it cleared that to where now the things that used to feel really hard are easier. And so it was this idea of it's not known to you, right? And so we talk on this podcast a lot about indicator lights. And I think some of the stuff that I talk about is a little bit how, well, maybe not a lot of us, but some of us have a little check engine light that comes on. And for the next 7 years, we just drive around with a little check engine light. Maybe we got it checked one time and they were like, oh, that's probably the ozone sensor. You're like, I don't know what an ozone sensor does, but it seems like every car I've ever had, the ozone sensor just triggers.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah. I don't know what it's something in that neighborhood.
An ozone sensor? Because that's like the ozone is like the atmosphere. No, it's fine. I just was like, wait, this is a brand new car term. I've never heard of this before. We're checking the internet, folks. Let's see. Do. Do you hear the keyboard clickety clackers? What is the ozone sensor? If you have never listened to the podcast before, let me just take a quick pause on this. The rabbit trail and the rabbit trail. Angela and I both, we don't suffer from ADHD. As Angela said, she enjoys most minutes of it. She used to say every minute of it, but I think, most minutes of it. And we just, embrace it. And so you occasionally get treated to a nice little rabbit trail. So, Angela, what's the ozone sensor? Real or not real?
I don't know. There is an ozone sensor. I just don't know if it's on your car. Okay, weird. On your car. Maybe it's not. Oh my gosh, you're killing me. What is that thing? No, it is. It is. It's an ozone sensor. It's a diagnostic control or tool for emission control systems.
Bam. Okay. So the check engine light comes on in your car. We'll go back to the metaphor that Sammy was like, hold on, is that real? I don't know that that's real. I'm trying real hard. I'll get you back on there. So the check engine light comes on in your brain, metaphorically speaking. And some of us just drive around ignoring that because the car is driving fine. that
It's
sound.
fine.
I've just gotten used to it. That's just what
Yeah.
happens with my car. It doesn't seem like it's exploded. So
It's
whatever, we'll
fine.
keep going.
Well, and here's the other thing that I noticed with some of my clients is like they came to me because they wanted to go to the next level. And over the course of coaching, what they were finally felt safe enough to admitting was, I'm scared to go to the next level because this level is taking everything I have, which is where the subtitle comes in. What fuels your success might be what limits it. It's like the drive to accomplish and to prove I am enough, which those of you that listen to the podcast, you may read the book and be like, this is the same stuff they've been teaching for 4 years. Yep, it is. But what I've done with this is it is a much more accessible format. So by that, I mean, it is a fictional book. It is a story, an allegory, a leadership fable, however you want to think about it. Jesus would have called it a parable. And what it does is it follows a life coach and 5 business owners. And the life coach is starting a mastermind so that way people don't have to unpack these beliefs on their own, so they can come together. Everyone in the mastermind group has struggles with I'm not enough. And the reason why that is because in my coaching practice, what I see is that probably 80 to 90% of my clients at some level struggle with I'm not enough. It's pretty common. And which makes sense if you follow what I talk about, which is that a lot of these beliefs were just things happened to us when we were a kid. We were trying to make sense of it. It's a very simplistic thing. I'm not enough. Flip side of that is I'm too much. And
Which is
those are
still the quote same belief.
It's the same
when
belief.
it's being
Yep.
overdone or underdone. We're still on that same spectrum. So
Yep.
still the same belief, somebody feeling like they are too much.
Yep. And then the 5 characters, each of them have a core belief that is their major core belief they struggle with. And what I've done is I've used their business as a metaphor for that core belief. So we give jewelry as a way to show love. And so the jewelry store owner struggles with I'm not lovable. These are the 7 core beliefs that we all, if you read Traveling Light or you've been around here for a long time, they're the same 7 beliefs. Except 5 business owners, I'm not enough, because we're going to hold up I belong is actually going to be covered in book 4.
I was like,
So in this book, we have a leadership coach, executive coach, and she's going to follow the 5 business owners.
tell us real quick what all 7 of the beliefs are. You told us I belong. It's going to be a book 4. I'm not enough. Everybody struggles with. What are the other 5?
Yep. Our jewelry store owner is going to struggle with I'm not lovable. The architect struggles with I don't trust myself. The business owner, Theodore, who does art and furniture restoration, he struggles with I'm not valuable. The farmer, our organic farmer, who's got regenerative organic farming techniques, Cameron, she struggles with I'm not worthy. And our bakery owner struggles with I don't have what it takes. And none of these people are like, I completely don't believe that I have what it takes at all. It's like most of us, we have some degree of that. So, like the bakery owner, she had a business partner who was very much business minded, and she was very much the bakery minded. And so she just didn't know if she could do the business side of things, even though she has 2 locations. She wasn't sure if she could do both the business side and the creative side. And so what we do is each one of you first we meet all of the characters and kind of hear a little bit of their backstory, start to see where they're questioning themselves. And then we do a group session where we meet them all together. They kind of come together. And what's cool is in the group sessions, Emily, the executive coach, is going to teach through the stuff that we taught in Traveling Light. I'm not sure who we is. I keep talking about we, like it's me, myself, and I. Anyway, what we talked about in Traveling Light. And so each session is covering the stuff. So it's really a lot easier to access and understand the traveling light stuff because you're hearing it from the character's perspective. She's breaking it down slowly for them, and then they'll go from a group session to an individual session. So you'll see how that iterates in different ones. I'm super proud of this book because there's also little things like the executive coach. All 5 characters meet her in kind of the 5 different ways that a coach can market themselves. So she's on a podcast, she's out networking, she has an Instagram post, a LinkedIn post, and a referral. And so, like, there's just been like things like that we weave in. I also, again, I keep talking about we. When I look at how the last iteration when I got back from Europe was that I wanted to make sure that each one of them, we kind of set up the I belong. And so then the book 4 will actually be about relationships. That's the premise of the book. Love podcasts where I could just go forever and then I need to stop and like let this be a conversation.
Hey, I don't know. You and I have a lot of conversations, and one of the things, if we can get a little bit meta for a moment, that I think we've gotten better at podcasting is remembering that we are having a conversation with 3 people here in the room, you, me, and the audience. And so even though I know a lot of these details, I know that our friend, you who's listening to this right now, you may not always know all these details, depending on, you know, what you've heard so far. This might be a repeat story, but it might be brand new for you. And so I'm here for everybody to get a chance to hear the whole story fresh. I have a lot of different questions for you. Some I know the answers to because you and I have a lot of conversations about this book. Some I don't know the answers to. How are you feeling right now on the hypothetical pretend day of the book launch, but the day that we're listening to this book launch or later? How are you feeling?
I think the only way to explain how I'm feeling is I have to set up the compare and contrast.
Okay.
So
I might allow it. We'll hear it and then I'll see if we're okay with comparing.
well, because so in August of 2017, I can literally take you where I was on the road. I got my approval from Amazon that said, okay, your book's ready to publish, ready to place your order for 100 copies. And I actually, in my keynote about The Invisible Edge, I talk about this moment and I ordered the books. And I mean, it was terrifying. I was like, I had given the Be Freaking Awesome keynote speech 13 times in preparation. I had talked all about how I'm ready for this book and blah, blah, blah. I talked about it for over a year. And then I was just out of my mind with panic attacks, which made me feel like such a fraud. And soon after that is when I got, well, no, I would already, by the time we ordered the book, I had already started working on homelessness and was just like, I can't, there's no good point and reason for me to do this book. This is dumb. So then fast forward to 2023, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this properly. I spent a lot of money on editing. I thought the book would take me a year. It took me 2 years to read it. Some of the reason why it took me so long is because I was learning the methodology that I was teaching, and I had so many people that said, "Are you sure you should publish now? Shouldn't you wait until you actually are sure about what you're writing?" And I'm like, no, 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 because so many people that talk about somatic processing forget what it is like when you are learning for the first time to go, what do you mean I'm supposed to be feeling what it feels in my body? And so when I launched Traveling Light, I was a lot better. My nervous system was much calmer. And I was like, here's the thing. I'm pretty sure this is going to help you. I'm already seeing improvements in my life. Now, over the next 6 to 9 months, what's fascinating is that I went through a pretty intense grieving process because while I feel like I was wholehearted and I feel like I was my nervous system was calmer, I also thought I would never be type A driven like I had been before. And I was like, no, I promise you, I'm driven by love and I'm driven by compassion and I'm kinder to myself. But I was not driven the way I had been. And I honestly thought that I had to just make peace with that and was just like, well, if you want to live a long and healthy life where you're not activated all the time and you don't feel like you're about to fly into a rage all the time, I guess you just don't get to be type A driven. And what is so interesting about the Invisible Edge is that number one, I started designing these characters this summer that I published Traveling Light. Like I knew at that time, based on early people reading it, they were like, whew, this is like a good steak. Like you got to chew on it. You got to sit with it. It was intense. And so I designed these characters in summer of 23, and they've just been wandering around in my head for the last couple of years, 2.5 years. And over the last year, especially, to be able to recapture the drive that I have to be able to work really intensely on some very big projects and some very intense projects. And outwardly, other people probably perceive that I am still a workaholic, but man, it feels so different inside my body that it is magical and fascinating. And I feel like I get to be my wholehearted self with a nervous system that's usually under reasonable has reasonable amount of flexibility and resilience that I can get activated and I can come right back down. I don't feel like I get activated unnecessarily for things that are like old wounds. If I do, I'm aware of it. I can feel that. I get mad, I get sad, I feel the range of emotions, and I am so driven and I have so much intensity for where I'm going and for what I'm building and for where I want to go. And I'm not outrunning my beliefs anymore. And I know if you're longtime listeners on the podcast, we talk about this a lot. I'm not outrunning the beliefs, I'm running toward who I'm becoming. And it is so energizing. Do I get tired? Absolutely. I have so much more space and compassion to let myself be tired and let myself work till the point I'm tired and then rest and rest well and just shut off and do and take care of myself in ways that I didn't know how to do. And here's what I hope is that by the time the next book comes out, I'm going to be like, "Oh my gosh, and it's even better. It's even better." So,
I
I'm
love
feeling
it.
really good.
So, Be Freaking Awesome comes out. Roughly speaking, the shortest version, we ran away. We published, we were like, goodbye. Traveling Light comes out, and we went through, like, we're going to do it, quote, the right way.
The right
There is
way.
a right way to do it, and that's what we're going to do. It is interesting that with the Invisible Edge, like, they didn't recruit a big launch team. You didn't, here's your 90-day runway into it. Like, you didn't hire the fancy editor. What do you hope it's different? Is there a part of you that like has expectations like this is going to show up differently? It's going to be received differently? Or are you really at a spot of like acceptance of like whether it sells more than the other two or it doesn't sell more? Like, I still feel really good about this.
That's a yes and. So, number one, I'm already seeing people. I don't know. I probably have 30 people that have an advanced reader copy. I'm so chill about it. I'm like, oh, I literally handed my phone to somebody and said, share the Google Doc. It was like, put your email address in there and you can have a copy of this. So I'm super chill about letting people read it and seeing how it is impacting them is magical. It is
Mm,
absolutely magical. We talk a lot about what is the point? What's the purpose of all of this? And its impact.
hmm
I have pitched myself for more articles in the last 5 months than I have in 5 years. And I've been
hmm
published more in the last 5 or 6 months than I have been in the last 5 years. So I'm embracing the idea of being a thought leader. I'm embracing the idea that like I can see what is changing in my clients. And that kind of impact is so infectious to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do I think this will sell more? I absolutely do think this will sell more. Do I have any early indicators that it will? No. I'm not saying that, here on the book launch day, we are having it at an event, and I am going to go ahead and like I'm trying a few different experiments with how that's going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah. And it's also pretty cool to be in a position where I'm like, I know what book 4 is, and then I'm planning the 10th anniversary of Be Freaking Awesome. Like, it's mind blowing to me that the 10th anniversary will be next year. I wrote it in 2016,
Mm-hmm.
and just it took a while to get it all edited and published and everything. But even that, like, Be Freaking Awesome, when I finished air quotes and turned it over to the editor, I could never read it all the way through. Like, it was hard. The only time I finally read it all the way through was when I sat with my audio engineer and I did it for the audiobook. Other than that, I could only read snippets of it at a time. It was very strange. Like, I can see now that my nervous system was
Way
out of control
activated.
at that point in time. So, yes, I think it'll sell more. If it doesn't, I could see me. I had a cool experience recently where last year I spoke at a conference and they said, well, how much what's your budget? I asked them what their budget was and I gave them a price. It was like, here's how much it is to hire me, or you can pay this much, but you can buy a book for everybody. And it was the same price. So they were like, we'd rather have everybody have a book. And I'm so glad I did that because I recently had the opportunity to have someone come up to me at another conference and be like, oh my gosh, your book. I don't know if you remember me, which I did. In addition to giving a book to her, her daughter was really struggling. So I went ahead and gave her an extra book. And that daughter gave it to the younger daughter. And so the three of them have been promoting the idea of traveling light for this last year. And it has made a huge difference in their life. And so to get to run into her a year later, right as I'm about to launch this book, was super impactful. And do I know what the long-term implications of this family are? No, I don't. But that's what it's about. To
Mm.
me, that's what it's about, is like, if I can change the trajectory of the few people that engage with this, like, how crazy cool is that? It's just amazing to me.
I love it. This feels like a really good spot to land the plane, but I have more
Yeah.
questions. But maybe people will have to send in their questions, and I'll hold a couple of my thoughts on the development of the book. And if you guys have questions about The Invisible Edge, the book, or like the book writing process, or book 4, or any of these things, send them in and maybe we'll do an Ask Me Anything kind of podcast here in a couple of weeks after you guys have had a chance to share your questions, engage with the book, send some things in, and then we'll do a follow-up and we'll talk more about those. Does that sound okay with you?
I'd love to unpack it some more over the next couple of weeks. So that'll be awesome. And our next episode, we're actually going to be responding to our
Womp
we
womp.
we asked our listeners if they wanted to hear more about disappointment, and they responded. You guys responded and want to hear us talk a little bit more about disappointment. So ironic that that is our next topic after
It is. And what's also
book
funny is that
launch.
Sammy is the one who's really grumpy about this, because the last time we had an episode where it was like, no, the listeners want to hear, it was about boundaries. And Angela was like, no, I don't want to talk about boundaries. And Sammy was like, yes, let's do it. Let's dig in. Let's go for it. I felt like I feel like I have more experience in setting boundaries and feeling cozy with that. Maybe it's that you have more experience with disappointment. You feel cozier with it. And I just like, blah, I don't want to talk about disappointment. Um, I don't know. It just
I
feels
think I have become with disappointment like it's just a cuddly little blanket, like I'm taking along with me.
well, that's fun for you. To me, it feels like a prickly younger brother that I'm annoyed at and want to go away. So, not that I have a prickly younger brother who I'm annoyed at and want to go away. He's now a delightful young man. It was just when he was younger that sometimes he was that way. Where can people buy your book, Angela? maybe not everywhere on the internet, but some places they can buy your book.
Sorry. Hopefully you can buy it everywhere on the internet. So we are in the process of creating the audio version. So the audio version hopefully is out today as well. We are, it will be, of course, on Amazon. It will be on bookshop.org. It will be in, typically within a few weeks, it'll get picked up by walmart.com, Barnes & Noble, and target.com. So watch in all of those places. You can also go to freakingawesome.com if you want an autographed copy. And you can
Ooh.
order. Oh, we also have a hardback this time. We
Oh, that's
decided to
fun.
publish the hardcover because a couple of my clients did. So I was like, oh, why not?
Why not? I love
Yeah.
it. Obviously, the hardback is probably a little bit more expensive than the paperback
is.
just because it's
Yeah.
a more expensive material, but
It is. Yep.
engage with whichever one you want.
Whatever you prefer.
I
Yeah.
love it. Thanks so much, Angela, for sharing your heart and your passion with us and for making an impact in people all around you. And I'm really grateful to get to do this work with you. And congratulations on your third book being published today.
Woo!
All right. Until next time, everyone, we hope you guys go be freaking awesome.